Welcome student. Today we are going to study about this most economical circular channel section. Right now, before studying this, we know the condition for the most economical channel section. What is that condition? The condition for most economical channel section is that the discharge, comma, for a constant cross-sectional area, comma, and slope of the bed is maximum. Means what? For a given constant cross-sectional area and bed of the slope, the discharge is maximum. This is the condition for the most economical channel section. Or in other way, the perimeter for a constant cross-sectional area and slope of the bed is minimum. Right. So if the perimeter is minimum, then definitely the discharge will be maximum. So this is the condition for the most economical channel section. But in case of circular channel section, right? So in case of circular channel section, the area of the flow cannot be maintained constant, right? So this is a very important point. Means what? In other section the area is going to remain constant, but in case of circular channel section, this area, it is going to be changed. Why this area changes? Because of this depth of the flow. Right now, just here. So what is the meaning of this sentence? With the change of the depth of the flow in circular channel, right? So of any radius, the channel of any radius, the weighted area and the weighted perimeter changes. Right now, means what? Now just for the understanding purpose, now just right, suppose these three circular channel section, figure A, figure B and figure C. If you observe in these three figure, the depth of the flow, this much is the depth of the flow in figure A, this much is the depth of the flow in figure B, and this much is the depth of the flow in figure C. If you observe about the depth of the flow, so this depth of the flow increases. Right now, as the depth of the flow increases, now what about the area of flow or weighted area and weighted perimeter? Right now, in first figure A, this much is the weighted area, right? In figure B, this much is the weighted area, right? In figure C, this much is the weighted area, right? Means what? As the depth of the flow increases, the weighted area also increases, it will also increase, right? And what about weighted perimeter? That perimeter will also increase. This much is the weighted perimeter in figure A, and this much is the weighted perimeter in figure B, and this much is the weighted perimeter in figure C. Means also that weighted perimeter will change as the depth of the flow changes, right? So this is nothing but means what? But in case of circular channels, the area of the flow cannot be maintained constant, which it is going to be changed. And right, so in case of circular channel, for most economical section, two separate conditions are obtained, right? So in other channels we have used only one condition. What is that condition? Condition for the maximum discharge, right? So because in that sections, right, so area remain constant, but in case of circular channel section, area is not going to remain constant. So in case of circular channel section, there are two conditions. What are the two conditions? Conditions for the maximum velocity and conditions for the maximum discharge. So this second condition is common in all section, but in circular section there is another condition, that is the condition for the maximum velocity. Why there are two conditions, or why this condition number one is in circular channel section? Because area of the flow, it is going to change. So because of that, velocity also will change, right? So this is the condition. There are the two conditions in case of circular channel section. So this is very important, right? In case of circular channel, there are two conditions. Okay, now after this, now we have to derive that conditions for the most economical circular channel section. Now by using condition number one. Now what is condition number one? So this is your condition number one. What is condition number one? That condition number one is for maximum velocity, right? Conditions for the maximum velocity. So we have to find out what are the conditions for the maximum velocity for a circular section, right? Now that conditions we have to find out, right? In last sections we have find out that conditions for the maximum discharge, right? In this case we have to find out the conditions for the two cases. Case 1, that is conditions for the maximum velocity, and case 2, that is for the maximum discharge. So case 1 is conditions for the maximum velocity. Now that we have to find out. Now, so for that, now consider a circular channel. Now this is your what? This is your circular channel. So this much is the depth of the flow. This much is the depth of your flow, right? And this is the free surface or the liquid or water surface, this much, right? AB is the free surface, O is the center of that circle, R is the radius, and this 2 theta is nothing but angle subtended by that free liquid surface at the center, right? This is your 2 theta, this total angle, right? And R is the radius, I is the slope of the bed. Now consider this circular channel section. Now, so what is our first condition? That velocity is maximum, right? Now as we know from the Chase's equation, now what is the Chase's equation? The velocity of flow according to Chase's formula or Chase's equation. So V is equal to C into square root of mi, right? Because we have to find out what are the conditions for the maximum velocity, right? That we have to find out, right? So we know this equation, V is equal to C into square root of mi, right? So I can write this equation in this manner also. V is equal to C into square root of A by P into I, because hydraulic mean depth is nothing but weighted area by weighted perimeter. So this is your hydraulic mean depth. Now we observe in this equation, C, what about C? C will remain constant, right? Or C is going to remain constant. What about I? I will also remain constant, right? What about this ratio A by P? A by P, as we know, this weighted area and weighted perimeter, just we have studied that, because in case of circular channel, as the depth of the flow changes, so A and P, that will also change, right? So A and P, it is not going to remain constant, it is going to change, right? So means what? So this velocity of flow, it depends upon this ratio A by P. Means what? So when the velocity will be maximum or V will be maximum for a given C and I, when the hydraulic mean depth A by P is maximum, means when velocity is maximum, when this ratio is maximum or hydraulic mean depth is maximum. Means what? So hence for a maximum value of A by P, velocity will be maximum, right? So by using this condition for the maximum velocity, we have to find out that conditions, right? Means this A by P ratio, if it is a maximum, if it becomes maximum, then definitely velocity will be maximum, right? So by using this, we have that. Now we know that this is the ratio, right? So when this ratio is maximum, as we studied in last derivations, right? So any equation or any equation, when it has when it has the maximum value or minimum value. Now if you consider any equation like this, and if you draw a graph of that equation, suppose this is a graph of that equation, right? Now if you observe, this point is the maximum point, right? And if you draw a tangent, right? So if you draw a tangent, then at this point the slope is 0, that is nothing but dy by dx is equal to 0, right? So slope is a 0 at the maximum value, slope is 0. So therefore, now what is this? Suppose this is the equation. So what is the slope? That is nothing but d of A by P divided by d theta is equal to 0. In this case, theta is variable. Why theta is variable? Because if you observe, what is A? That is the weighted area. Now we have seen, or we have calculated that weighted area for a circular channel section in last lecture. That lecture is nothing but that is on the flow through the circular channel section. What is that area? Area is equal to r square into theta minus sine 2 theta by 2, and weighted perimeter is equal to, that is 2r theta. Now if you observe in these two equation, the theta is variable term. So because of that, I have written that d by d theta of A by P is equal to 0.